Coach, when you hear this rule, I know you've worked the camps. I know it's helped you and you're a new coach build your program, Coach. What's your initial thought as a high school coach about this rule?
Well, I understand that there's three parts to the rule. Set of rules coming up about, you can't hire coaches to camps. Coaches can't, become straight out of high school going to be college coaches. And there's something else about the college staff adding another coach to their staff. I understand what they're trying to do, but I think they're trying to kill a gopher, like the movie with the Caddyshack.
Yeah.
They're trying to kill a gopher, but they're blowing up the whole golf course.
Yeah.
And it's just not it's not fitting. I think it's going to hurt recruiting. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt the kids more than stop what's going on, with the NCAA. So it's not a good situation for high school coaches or college football.
Now I titled this segment, "The NCAA biting the hand that feeds it," Coach, because when I look at it, you guys are the ones who are spending the time out there developing these young players. The few, you're at a 7A school right now. How many kids do you have on your team?
This spring we'll have about 130 kids out.
Okay. How many prospects do you have for D1?
This year coming up, probably got about 7 or 8.
Okay, so you got 123 other kids that you're coaching that you're trying to get better. And would you say that one of the ways you get better is you take them to camp and help them learn and grow as football players? Is that correct? No
doubt, yes. Sometimes it's hard for them to get to camp otherwise. If I don't take them, then they're not going to get that experience, not going to get that exposure. So, the kid kind of loses out.
Let me ask you this, Coach. Talking to Coach Antonio Ford, former Sipsey Valley High School head coach, now on the staff with Auburn High School, coaching linebackers, doing a little weight training, and working with these kids 24/7. Now, Coach, you come from you grew up here in the Tuscaloosa community. You coach here in the Tuscaloosa County community. I've heard some of my counterparts say, "What's the big deal about these kids getting to camp? If the coaches can't take them, why don't the parents just take a day off work and do it?" Let me ask you, Coach, how often could you not get a parent to make it to a practice to pick up a kid, and you or an aunt or an uncle? How often are you guys just day to day having to provide transportation, much less to a camp?
Yeah, that'll be pretty hard to count the many nights and hours I spent after practice waiting on a parent to come pick up a child, or having to take a kid home. Actually having to pick up a kid to come to practice. It's just, it's difficult with parents, different work schedules. And having multiple kids, it's kind of hard for them to meet the demands of their kids' schedule sometimes. And sometimes the camps last 2 or 3 days. And that will mean a parent would have to stay off work, get a hotel in that city, pay for food, all that. That's a tremendous cost, let alone paying for the camp for the kid. Most parents, I know in my class growing up, they couldn't afford it. My mom couldn't afford anything like that.
So you grew up in a single parent home. Coach Antonio Ford, who played football for Troy, and outside linebacker. Your mom did not have. She would have had single mom, so she would have had to pay. Say today, it'd be easily over $1,000 by the time she got hotel rooms, gas, transportation, etc., to go to one camp, not counting what she would lose in income because she was off work. And, by the way, how many kids just want to go to one camp? It's not like you take the kids to one camp, Coach. You take them to multiple camps. Every summer you go to multiple camps. So it's not just taking the kids to the University of Alabama camp. It's If it's a prospect, they're going to want to go to multiple camps. If it's not a prospect, the kid wants to just go to the camp to get better. But it's not just the kids, because I said it's hurting the kids, and I believe it's going to hurt all of those. Nick Saban said he has 600 kids, Coach Ford. 50 of them may be a prospect per camp. And they're making a rule, as you say. I love that analogy. It's like Caddyshack. There's a gopher on the course, and he's in one hole, but they blew up the whole golf course to get to that one gopher. But when you look at this, Coach, what did it do for your career? I remember I remember when you got the job. What did it do for you to be at the University of Alabama as a young coach working with the staff at the University of Alabama?
That is a great question. One of the things that catapulted my career and my coaching abilities, being around those college coaches, seeing how they operate and how they communicate with each other, how they communicate with kids, looking at their drills, all the tempo of practice, all those things helped me as a young coach. Just not knowing much of how to organize practice, man, it was amazing being able to have that experience and then taking that, what I learned, back to my high school and putting it in a more condensed version, that it helped out tremendously.
Now, Coach, not only do you have to coach your players, you also, as you said, have to develop players. Does Coach Saban in these camps take time to also communicate with you guys, help you guys in terms of even developing and how to look for and develop even your other coaches?
You know, the first time I went to a camp with Coach Saban, I think it was like elementary school age kids, and he was walking around and yelling and talking and coaching as if, you know, they were playing Florida in the SEC championship tomorrow. I mean, he was on 10, you know, and I was like, man, that guy takes the camp this seriously. This is going to be an awesome experience. Yeah, he opened the door for us, taught us whatever we want. Any question we had, you know, he would give us drill tape, say, look, let's talk about this. This is how we do that. I mean, he was open door policy. So as speaking with Coach Antonio Ford of Auburn High School, we're talking about this NCAA rule, and like I said, I believe the NCAA is biting the hand that feeds it. These high school coaches spend numerous hours not being compensated anywhere, probably averaging about $2 an hour when you count the number of hours that they put in during the season, maybe not be that much. Taking away the opportunity as a high school coach. Let me ask you, when you look at your career path, what are some of the things you considered in terms of high school coaching as far as opportunities for advancement? Did you look at going to other high schools? Have you considered the possibility of getting into college coaching and et cetera? What was kind of your opportunities or options you were looking at? Oh, yeah. You know, always looking to advance. There are opportunities, places that I can actually, you know, display my talent. College is always an option in the back of my mind. Just have to, you know, get that clear with my family. But that's the ultimate goal, is to be able to, you know, coach at a college level. I think that the opportunities that I was afforded as a high school athlete going to college, I would love to have an opportunity to guide kids. But yeah, this rule would actually limit what I could do as far as moving into the college ranks, and I think that's not a good idea. There's so many high school coaches that have made great careers in college.
Let's put some teeth. Let's put some teeth on this. Let's put some skin on this rule so people can understand. Right now, you told us you have 130 kids. You have about 7 that are college D1 prospects. Is that correct? Right. Okay.
Yes.
Now, with this rule, based on the fact that you have now coached 7 college prospects, how many different D1 schools are recruiting those 7? I mean, NCAA schools are recruiting those 7 players. Just take an approximate guess. How many different schools?
We're going to say 30 different schools.
So right now, for at least the next 2 years, if not longer, you could not get a job at any of those 30 schools, even if you were the most qualified candidate. Is that correct?
And nor could I work their camp.
and nor could you work their camps. But you could not. So 30 schools right now would be taken off of your list because less than probably about 4%, 3 to 4% of the players you deal with every day and coach every day have an opportunity to play at the next level. You've lost at least 30 opportunities, and I know one of those kids is blowing up. So before this season is over, now that coaches are beginning to contact, that list could grow to 50, 60 schools that's just out. That you can't
easily. After spring, that list's going to double.
Right, easy. And so that's what I don't think people are understanding. Why Coach Saban is so upset is because I saw you help middle school coaches when you were a high school coach because they want to go to the high school level. And Coach Saban helps high school coaches develop, grow, etc. Coach, just tell me in your own words why you got into coaching.
Well, I got into coaching to give back. Man, I gained so much through the game of football and had so many people influence me in a positive way, and I wanted to give that back, to teach the game that I love, a game that's going to provide opportunities to the guys that otherwise may not have that opportunity. So that was my calling. That's what I was supposed to do in life, and that's the path I took.
Yeah, and Coach, a lot of people don't know this. You're like my adopted son, and you and I are.
I'm adopted. Am I adopted?
You're adopted. You're adopted. You're my unofficially. Yeah, you're my son. So if you ever hear Coach Ford say "Dad" and me say "my other son," I'm talking about Coach Tony Ford. And the reason I point that out is I was blessed and have been blessed to kind of play a father role in your life. But growing up, there's many times your dad wasn't there, my dad wasn't there. And I hear people, and I'm telling you, sometimes I want to slap my media partners and friends because they're so out of touch with real life when they say, well, what's the big deal if a high school coach can't take these kids? Their parents can. Well, a lot of them, first of all, either single parent home or they're staying. There are kids who in Tuscaloosa right now that I know from my relationship with coaches that are homeless according to the ruling of the way they do it. And Alabama High School Athletic Association has had to give them a variance to stay somewhere. They're sleeping on people's couches and things like that. When you hear that and you know the role that coaches played in your life as a father figure, you play in that, just give your closing thoughts.
Yeah, man,
give your closing thoughts on this rule.
Yeah, that's a very true reality that there's some homeless kids, and if it wasn't for us, that meant they would have way less opportunities. This rule is in no form going to help the relationship between high school and college. It's not going to help the kids. And I understand what the NCAA is trying to do, but it's not aimed in the right. They have to go point in the wrong direction. All right, and I think it'll be bad overall for game of high school football.
Coach, one of the other things, and someone else had thought about this, and I don't even know, which I think it will be challenged if it passes. I don't know why basketball didn't challenge it, but a caller asked, has anyone considered the legal actions relative to the NCAA rule? And what that means is how can they limit the possibility of you getting a job opportunity? It kind of sounds like antitrust collusion stuff, but I don't know. But either way, you put some flesh on it, showing that there's a lot of high school coaches out there that serve as the father role, the taxi cab. But more importantly than that, you guys really do grow as coaches, and your teams get better via these camps that are ran the way Nick Saban runs that. Would you agree with that?
That is definitely true.
So, go ahead. Hey, Coach, when we look at this Alabama team, I wanted to get just a coach's opinion of what Nick Saban has done. You and I both played the college game. When you walk onto the to the University of Alabama campus versus when you played, when I played, and even some of the other universities, what's a couple of the first things that run through your mind when you see what Nick Saban is doing at the Capstone?
Man, I think those guys have got it made in every top of the line, everything, facilities, uniforms, medical staff. It's amazing. The weight room looks incredible at Alabama. It's a lot different when I played.
Yeah. When you look at those things and the size of the players and all of that, have you had a chance to see any of these players up close and personal on this year's squad?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm a big Jalen fan. I've been knowing both since high school. We got Dunny Lee on there from Tuscaloosa County High. So we got a few players that I know personally on that team.
Now, speaking of Jalen Hurts, you said you're a Jalen fan, and you used to get on to me when I would be hard on Jalen when you be tuned in on Facebook. But I was always a Jalen fan, but I'm also a realist. When you look at Jalen Hurts as a coach, what makes Jalen so special that us sometimes as fans, when we see what happens on the field and all of that we're not seeing the entire picture of what Jalen Hurts brings to his team?
First of all, just being a freshman and I'm not being familiar with everyone on the team and how even keel he was. Always comfortable, never seems to collapse under pressure. Real cool kid. That's something that usually comes with experience, and he just got it. I think it's because he's a coach's kid. Coach's kids are awesome.
Oh, coach's kids. Hey, coach's kids are awesome. And hey, watch. Okay, coaches coach all the kids. Coaches coach all the kids when they have them around. So what makes coaches' kids different? Is it the fact that they get to spend more time around the coach that makes coaches' kids better?
Yeah, I think they aim to please. That they're around it. They're around it even before they know that they're around it. Like they grow up around it. So, like even TC, my daughter, she watches film now. It's not gonna help her anything. She enjoys it. So
actually, it will because she's learning something that she'll need when she gets to her competitive thing. That'll be different than everybody else. And the only reason I point that out, Coach Ford, is this: if a coach's kid gets better by being around coaches more, they carry themselves better, they're more composed, they play the game at a higher level. Why in the world would the NCAA, in their stupidity, pass a rule that limits how much time high school coaches can be around kids? That sums it up. So, hey, Coach, one last question before I let you go. When you look at Alabama and the running back position, and you coach linebackers, when you look at – first, I'm going to ask you two questions. Actually, running back position and the depth that they have, I know you may not have ever had this problem, but it'd be nice to have. If you had that much talent, how do you try to keep these guys engaged and happy and focused and growing as players?
What a great question. I think at first it just comes from just defining what you're looking for in that position, put everybody on the same page, and this is what we got to have. You do this, that, and that, then you're going to get a couple steps in the game. But if you're not doing that, you're not producing, then we got some more work to do. And always having it an open competition every day. It's an opportunity for somebody to get in front of someone else. You can't just go with one guy and say, you want it no matter what he does, and just keep it open.
Keeping it open.
Keep guys hungry, keep them fighting.
Now, you're coaching those outside linebackers down at Auburn. Alabama has definitely some talent at the position at outside linebacker. We've seen that in terms of Williams and Anderson, and we could go on through the list. They got a kid from Auburn High School, Rashawn Evans, as well as Christian Miller. When you look at those two players, what do you think that makes them or prepares them to be that next great linebacker in the tradition of Alabama?
Well, number one, they played at Auburn High School, so that makes
my goodness. Have they hold on? Have they already got you to drink the Kool-Aid? You've
I'm 100% Auburn High School now.
Auburn High School. High school. Let's make sure we clarify that. Auburn High School. All right, go ahead.
Auburn High School. I think Rashad's going to do great. His experience, great size. I want to hear coaches say great things about him. As a person, too. I never had the opportunity to coach him, but the coaches here say great things about Rashad, even from when he was in junior high. He was a quarterback in junior high, believe it or not.
that explains some of his athletic ability at the size he plays. So,
yeah. Yes,
hey, Coach, I'm going to let you run, but I wanted to tell you this. They say that once you adopt someone, you can't disown them.
That's right.
And since I adopted you as my son, even though you just mentioned Auburn High School in a positive sense, I guess I'll still own you. Hey, Coach, I know you're out there in Wisconsin trying to get better and grow and learn as a player. As a coach, we appreciate you taking time to join us this morning.
Appreciate it. We got to get you down to Auburn sometime, show you how great it is.
Yeah, you need to get me down there to Auburn so I can spread some of the love and greatness from the capstone. All right. Love you.